Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening. Welcome to another PMP Q&A session. Our today's topic is delivering business value with urgency. All right, let's start. Question number 1. All right, Vivek, you have chosen option A.
Yes, Amar. So looking at the option B, C, and D, uh, it is not actually uh, like satisfying the objective. The objective in the question is to get the continuous customer feedback. So to deliver into the incremental releases that will and showing the demo that will give us the feedback continuously, and we have the scope for the correction and more quality product can be delivered with that. So with that mindset, I have answered as A.
All right, but Vivek, question says, what should the PM do to ensure rapid delivery of value? So how option A is relevant to rapid delivery of value?
So with increment delivery, following the agile incremental delivery, we are with each iteration we are delivering some value to the project, and we are getting continuous feedback also.
All right, thank you. Amanullah, you have chosen option C.
Yes, in fact, the question to deliver this project rapidly, in here, I choose C, having that in mind that we can see the tasks and identify those tasks that can be done at the same time so that rapids up the delivery and we can deliver the subject without any compromise of the quality. That is why I choose C with elimination of the others going through the question.
Amanullah, why didn't you choose option B? Because if you have more resources, then you can also speed up delivery. What's wrong with option B?
I thought about B as well, and I was thinking in order to evaluate in here for additional resources, we don't know whether we might have budget for additional resources or not. That is why it was not I was not sure, and I did not select that one. In it doesn't say anything that the budget is open or you can do whatever. That is why because if you add additional resources, then you need to have the budget for that.
All right,
So that is why I didn't
thank you.
selected that.
Robin, you have chosen option A.
Yes. What made me choose option A was having a good look at the necessity for continuous customer feedback for ongoing refinement and given the platform's complexity. So that's all pointing to doing it in increments. in using Agile. So that's what made me choose option A.
All right, thank you. So you're saying the key word is delivering incrementally, where continuous feedback is required. So that's why you have chosen option A. All right,
Yes.
thank you. Mary, you have chosen option A.
Yes, Robin just explained very nicely why, because of complexity and customer feedback, continuous, ongoing refinement. Option A gives actually answer to this, comparing to the other options that may be addressed specifically, like some kind of situation that is like how to speed up the process in a given moment.
All right, absolutely. So correct answer is option A. Plan the project delivery to deliver value incrementally with regular releases. When you deliver incrementally, you get customer feedback, and this is how you deliver product quickly as soon as possible. Incremental delivery, one of the purposes of incremental delivery is to deliver the product as soon as possible, right? That's we have the concept of minimum viable product. Otherwise, we'll end up delivering the product at the end of the project, complete in all aspects. So that is not early delivery. So for early delivery, we go with incremental delivery with regular releases. Correct answer is option A. All other options are irrelevant. Let's read the explanation. All right, next question. Please be a little quick, right? You're taking more than 70, 80 seconds. All right, Priya, you have chosen option C.
Yeah, I just switched to D just before you started asking me to explain. The reason I chose option C initially was the idea is to the KISS principle, keep it simple, stupid. So you don't want to unnecessarily complicate situations and create a very complex solution. You want to keep the solution as simple as possible, because then it's easier to build, it's easier to prototype, it's easier to maintain. That was the initial thought. And then I looked at option D just before you asked me the question, and that also might be right. Delivering what is needed, like so as to not gold plate or not over complicate the solution. So I would choose either one, but I chose C initially.
All right, thank you. Robin, you have chosen option B.
Yes, I'm still not sure. I was going between B and D, and I'm still not 100% sure. So it was a flip of the coin to go for B. I suppose that's my very
All right,
inaccurate answer.
all right. But what's the logic behind selecting either B or C? What comes to your mind?
To minimize the to minimize the delivering what is needed, minimizing the work in progress. It's to actually maximize the flow of work, or no, I'm really just guessing now. I quite honestly don't
It's
know.
okay. It's okay. Thank you for the answer. Okay. So, Mary, you have chosen option A.
Yes, it was wrong. So I guess one of those further option can go in place. Maybe delivering what is needed, like minimum, not to gold plated or something like that. Not to overdo it. So maybe option D can go.
So you have chosen option A. It says the statement is self-contradicting. So what's
Yes,
the
but
contradiction in the statement?
yeah, then I went with option D.
Okay. Right. Mohan, you have chosen option D.
Yeah, so I was between B and D as well. I mean, I think it's how do we define minimizing the amount of work um, um, which is needed, right? Based on what the question is. Um, and minimizing the work in progress is contradictory, right? It should have been if it is work we are which we are not getting done, that we should maximize the work in progress. That's why I think I picked D, because it's essentially trying to deliver what is.
All right. Thank you. So if you look at the statement, it says simplicity. It is the art of maximizing the amount of work not done. Or if we read it differently, it says it's the art of minimizing the amount of work done. Am I right, everybody? I just changed the word. Either you can say maximizing the amount of work not done, or you can say minimizing the amount of work done. Means making sure that you do not do more than what is required. Just do whatever is required. So yes, we develop simple solution. And why do we develop simple solution? Why don't we go with sophisticated and complex solutions? Because we want to deliver what fulfills customer needs. And somebody mentioned, we don't do gold plating. We don't make product complex by adding extra features which are not required. So correct answer is option D. Simplicity, the art of maximizing the amount of work not done, means delivering what is needed or what fulfills customer requirement. And for that, yes, we develop simple and less complex solution, but the ultimate purpose is to deliver what is required. Correct answer is option D. Let's read the explanation. All right, next question. All right, Vivek, you have chosen option C.
Yes. So looking at the options available, so uh, reviewing strategic goals does not actually fulfill the ask here. And when creating a project charter, the actual business case should be understood, and there and there itself we can understand if it is actually aligning the company strategic goals or not. So
All right.
I was about like option like C is the only correct. That was I was going through.
But Vivek, the question is about there is a misalignment between the project and strategic objectives. So what's wrong with option A? Or what you want to do with understanding business case? What could have happened if the project manager had understood business case? What would have been different?
So if like the business case was correctly understood and there itself there could be the correction for the misalignment here. So there was a chance to correct the misalignment when while doing the review with the business case.
All right, thank you. Jayashri, you have chosen option C.
Yes, Samar. Had the project manager understood the business case well, he could have easily clarified the key stakeholders' concerns about why it is not aligned with why the project charter is not aligned with the company's strategic goals. The clarity in the business case or objective would have been more clear in that case.
All right. But the question is not about business case. Question is about charter. You are in process of getting the charter approved. So how business case is relevant in this situation?
I thought understanding the business case is also a part of analysis by the project manager before the project charter is defined or charted.
So what could have been different if project manager had understood the business case? If PM understands the business case, would there be anything different in stakeholders' mind? Because the concern is from one of the stakeholders. So if PM understands business case, how this could impact the situation or how the situation could have been different? Okay, Mohan, you have chosen option C.
I kind of eliminated the other three options, and then came to business case, and so I eliminated stakeholder. And option B, analyzed stakeholders. It already says that this is a key stakeholder, so the analysis was done. Reviewed the strategic goals. So I eliminated that because it's saying it's raised concerns about alignment with the company's strategic goals. So and I think I picked business case because that's like the input to the project charter, right? As almost like a pre-project, like based on your notes you mentioned in the class. So I thought that might be a better option. I mean, I don't have a good rationale, but
All right, thank you. Jashri, do you want to say something?
Yes, Samar. So with the question you asked, while responding to my answer, see, it is understanding business case. That might not be the right answer is what I feel. The project manager might have analyzed the stakeholders to understand their stake or their knowledge base or whatever, and then he could easily address the concern in that case if analyze stakeholder is done in a better way.
All right, so the correct answer is option B, stakeholders analysis, right? So the problem here is that a stakeholder is raising a concern. So it's not like that something is wrong with business case, something is wrong with strategic goals, something is wrong with charter. It's just a concern that is raised by a stakeholder. And you need to actively engage with the stakeholder to respond to this concern. And for that, you need to do stakeholders analysis. Stakeholder analysis is not just knowing that a stakeholder is there. As Mohan was mentioning, since it is mentioned a key stakeholder, it means analysis has been done. No, analysis means understanding stakeholders' needs, their concerns, their power, their impact, their interest, and everything, right? And then developing strategies to engage with them. So if project manager has understood stakeholders' concerns earlier, then that could have been addressed before the charter is sent for approval, right? So rather than you send the charter and then it is delayed because a stakeholder's concern is not addressed. So if proper analysis has been done, if you have engaged with the customer, right, you understood their needs, preferences, then this situation could have been avoided. Correct answer is option B. All other options are incorrect. Unilaterally understanding charter, business case, strategic goal would not stop the stakeholders raising concern. The only thing that could have handled the situation is understanding stakeholders' concern and actively engaging with them. So correct answer is option B. All other options are incorrect. Let's read the explanation. All right, next question. All right, probably the easiest question. Priya, you have chosen option D.
Yeah, I looked at the other options. The first option saying that you include as many features as possible in MVP is not the right choice, because you basically want to ensure that the most important things get done and get included in MVP. B was develop a user story for each feature and estimate the development effort for each. That's not agile. That's too much work to estimate at that level of detail. So that was discarded. C was conduct a cost benefit analysis for each feature. And that's again, that's a lot of work, upfront work that you're doing in order to do a cost benefit analysis. So the option D seems to be most suitable here. To kind of like bring all the stakeholders together and kind of discuss on what would be the most essential functionality, so you can have some idea of what needs to be included in the MVP. So it chose option D.
All right. Mohan, you have chosen option C.
I mean, I eliminated option D because brainstorming session with stakeholders at that point would not be like a agile methodology, right? Because um, we are working with the product owner to identify, you know, the most important value, and the development team is empowered after that to, you know, execute the deliverable. So I thought the C was basically just doing a cost benefit analysis of each feature and then prioritizing it based on that value would be the best option.
All right, but Mohan, it's not waterfall. We can have session in agile with stakeholders, and this is what typically we do. We engage with customer and product owner leads these effort, and based on these session and understanding with the stakeholders, they come up with the most essential features or functionalities. So this is not non-agile. This is purely agile. This is how things are done in agile environment. It's not a unilateral process where product owner, does all the prioritization, backlog grooming. Yes, ultimately, product owner is accountable for that, but they engage with the stakeholders, right? Based on understanding of stakeholders' needs and their customer value delivery, customer value proposition, they define what are the most essential or valuable features, okay? The problem with option C is that it's a unilateral approach, and we have been discussing since start, like Agile is all about interactions. Agile is all about collaboration, right? So one of the comments was conducting a cost-benefit analysis, a time-taking activity. No, that's not the reason behind C is the wrong option. The reason is that it's a unilateral approach. So for more collaboration and interactive discussion to have point of view of relevant stakeholders, we'll go with option D, hosting a brainstorming session with stakeholders to identify the minimum viable product, which is the most essential functionality. Correct answer is option D. Let's read the explanation. All right, next question. All right. Robin, you have chosen option B.
With great difficulty, but I went through all of them, and I felt that if you tested the system and by doing that, you ensured a flawless experience before a launch, that would be the most suitable option out of all of these. So that's why I went for B.
All right. So Robin, if we read the question, it says, some team members are hesitant to release the platform with minimal functionalities, right? And what is their concern? The concern is they fear a poor user experience because you are delivering minimal functionalities, right? So the first question is delivering the minimal functionality acceptable or not? Robin, what do you think?
No, you want it to be functional.
Okay. No, it says minimal functionalities. It doesn't say non-functional thing or dysfunctional thing. Minimal functionality means a product with basic functionalities or with some functionalities, not complete in all aspects. So if in your product, let's suppose you have 10 features. So rather than delivering 10 features once, what you do, you deliver 2 features. This is called minimal functionalities, a product with basic functionalities. So first, delivering product with basic functionality is acceptable. And this is what we call minimum viable product. MVP. And in Agile, we deliver MVP. So rather than delivering all the features once, we deliver incrementally. So the first release that we do, that we call minimum viable product. MVP means the product with basic functionality so that we can deliver the product as soon as possible and customer can start using the product. Otherwise, customer has to wait if we deliver all 10 features once. Is it clear, Robin? You understand this concept?
Yes.
Okay, so first point is this. Delivering minimal functionality there is nothing wrong with it. We normally do that. Now, next part is fearing a poor user experience might damage brand reputation. Okay, let's explore that. I'll take some more comments. Okay. Vivek, you have chosen option D.
Yes, actually, I was like confused between C and D, but C is the like one of the way to like convince the team and encourage them. But the ultimate goal to uh, release something and get the feedback. So this is the opportunity for PM to release available functionality, that minimal available functionality, and get the feedback for next release to be high in quality. And that's how we are getting some values also. So there is an opportunity, and it's a collaborative way, and we are taking the consideration from team as well in this case.
All right, thank you. Mary, you have chosen option D.
Yes, so after this explanation, I read to Robin, I read better this B, and it has like a broader meaning. So maybe option D is better. Explain how gathering early user feedback through a basic platform can improve the final product. So maybe.
All right, thank you. So yes, correct answer is option D. Why? Because you want to deliver MVP means you want to deliver a product with basic functionality. Team members have concern, like if you deliver a product with basic functionality, then it may damage the brand reputation or may result in poor user experience. So actually, we intentionally deliver MVP because the purpose of MVP is to deliver the product as soon as possible to get customer feedback. So we deliver product with basic functionality, customer starts using the product, and we start working on developing other features. And at the same time, we get feedback based on actual customer experience. So one of the purposes of delivering MVP is to get feedback from the customer, right? Based on their experience, right? So correct answer is option D. Let's read the explanation. But this is not the only purpose. There's another one that could be the primary purpose, maybe that we will be discussing later. But in this situation, correct answer is option D. You need to explain to team members, we will be delivering MVP. And why? Because we want to gather feedback. And this is how we continuously improve the final product. Delay the launch and prioritize developing a comprehensive set of features. This is waterfall. This is not agile. Agile is incremental delivery. Implement extensive user testing. What does it mean? It means, okay, we will be delivering all the features, or we will be delivering MVP and we will be doing extensive user testing. No, we deliver the product and we get feedback from customer based on their experience rather than using or doing unilateral testing. Unilateral testing would help you catch some flaws, but you cannot get the user experience, right? So to understand user experience and their feedback, you need to deliver MVP. Encourage self-organization. Yes, generally we do that, but when we have a problem, we don't say, okay, do it yourself. We solve the problem. So servant leader's job is to intervene and handle the bottleneck. So correct answer is option D. Let's read the explanation. All right, next question. All right, Jashri, you have chosen option B.
Yes, Samar. Since project A has a comparatively higher internal rate of return as compared to project B, more than 15%, than 20%. That's why I chose option A, project A with a higher IRR of 20%.
All right, thank you. Daniela, you have chosen option A.
Yeah, I seem to remember that a project with the highest IRR, it's the one you would want, which is basically better. Don't remember formula, sorry.
All right, thank you. Priya, you have chosen option C.
Sorry. So the reason I chose was purely based on IRR, nothing to do with upfront costs.
All right, thank you. Priya, you have chosen option C.
Yes, I looked at it and I felt that some information was still missing because it does say that the initial investment for one of them is higher, although the rate of return is also higher, but then the other one has lower upfront cost but has a lower rate of return. I do see that I just read after I selected that option that both projects exceed the minimum acceptable rate of return. So I guess option C doesn't make sense anymore because it's already crossed mark. So I apologize. I think based on that, I would eliminate that and I would go with option A.
All right. So yes, option C is not correct because it's clearly mentioned in the question, both projects exceed the minimum acceptable rate. If this information is not provided, then C would have been the right answer, right? So since it is already written, so company's MARR is irrelevant now. Okay, good. Robin, you have chosen option D.
Yes, I excluded C, and then I was debating between A and B. A's got a higher percentage return, B's got a lower, but A's got a higher risk and B's got a lower risk. So if you weigh the two together, I looked at them as both attractive and maybe both equally attractive.
All right. But Robin, question doesn't talk about risk at all. It says project A has a higher initial investment and project B requires a lower upfront cost. And when we calculate IRR, we take these cash flows into consideration. So higher return is because of higher initial investment. You understand?
Yes.
And lower return is because of lower initial investment. It does not mean the project is less risky or more risky because there is no such information in the statement. So higher investment leads to higher return. This is what we can deduce from it. But there is nothing in the question that says upfront investment is risky, right? Since nothing is mentioned in the question, we cannot assume that. So that's why option D is incorrect. Correct answer is option A. We always go with higher IRR. So actually what happened for projects, organizations invest money, right? Or they raise money. And for that, they have to pay cost of capital. Cost of capital is the money that you invest. So on one side, we have cost of capital. On the other side, we have IRR. So remember, if IRR is greater than cost of capital, the project is profitable, right? Cost of capital is cost of your investment. So for example, you're investing $100 and you have borrowed this money from bank at 10%. So if I just take the face value, the cost of capital is $110. If your IRR gives you 111, it means your project is profitable. So we compare cost of capital with IRR. And when we compare two projects, we always go with project with higher IRR. So IRR means internal rate of return. It's the return at which your net present value is 0. So we always go with higher IRR. Project A with a higher IRR of 20%, we will be choosing that because both the project exceed the minimum acceptable rate. If this information is not provided in the question, right, then correct answer is option C. Since it is already written, both projects exceed the minimum limit, so option A is correct. Between two, we will be going with the project that offers higher return. Let's read the explanation. All right, next question. All right, so this question is similar to the previous couple of questions. I'll take two comments. Okay. Mary, you have chosen option D.
Yes, well, it says in the first sentence that this needs to be launched quickly, and D says releasing a basic version reduces the time to the market.
All right, thank you. Daniela, you have chosen option D.
Yeah, it was by elimination, and yes, that would be quickly. So I agree with Mary, but also I read the other three and I didn't, so they are appropriate.
All right, thank you. Mohan, you have chosen option A.
I mean, all these answers look really good. I kind of eliminated most of them to get to A. You know, it's agile methodology that's being used, and the question is the sponsor is the investor is puzzled as to why initial launch just includes limited amount of features. And I went with the approach that the initial version should have a minimal defect because you want to catch the defect early on to, you know, for cost benefits. B, simplifying the product reduces the risk of accumulating technical debt. That doesn't make sense, so eliminated that. Developing only essential features limits the working features. Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna select those essential features, right? So eliminated that, and releasing a basic version reduces the time to market. That might be a good option, but then, you know, we decide on the basic features. So, I mean, I think all the options are good. I just picked A based on the aspect that we want to keep those defects to a minimum.
All right, thank you. But Mohan, the purpose of delivering product early to the customer is not to keep defects to a minimum level. The purpose is to deliver the product and seek feedback to identify defects, not to keep the defects to a minimum. And how delivering early or delivering basic functionality would reduce the number of defects. It has nothing to do with limiting number of defects. Yes, it has something to do with identifying defects if there are any, right? So
Right.
agile delivering incrementally, the purpose is not to keep the defects minimum. The purpose is to deliver the product to the customer as early as possible and to get feedback to do modification. That's why we do deliver MVP. All right, I'll take one more comment. Lela, you have chosen option B. Don't switch.
I selected B, but then so simplifying the product reduces the risk. So if I deliver the minimum feature first, right? I kind of like eliminate the risk of if I wait for the one initial like a one release at the end, it could have a risk of more technical debt, right? So if I kind of I don't know if I'm able to explain myself, but if I release in an early phases, I kind of we're having a less risk of technical.
Okay. Lela, what is technical debt?
Any technical issues that your app, or that in this case is the app, right?
Okay.
Any technical issues.
Any technical issue. Okay. Anybody else? What is technical debt? Anyone, please? What is technical debt?
Issues
Is it
coming up, bad design, or basically making quick decisions and not thinking through the technical architecture and carrying on bad design or things that need to be fixed later.
Yes. Not the issues. The reasons are, delayed issues resolution. So for example, if there is a problem, you have to solve the problem right there, but you intentionally delay it. Now it becomes a debt that you have to pay, that you have to do, right? So technical debt is the work that you need to do, but you intentionally delay it. That is called technical debt. MVP has nothing to do with technical debt, right? Delivering minimum viable product or delivering product with basic functionality has nothing to do with technical debt. Technical debt is, if there is an issue, rather than responding to that issue at that time, what you do, you intentionally delay that because of maybe pressure of delivering early. So it has nothing to do with MVP. Okay. So we don't simplify the product to reduce technical debt. If you want to reduce the technical debt, what you need to do whenever there is a problem, solve it there. Then there won't be anything that you need to do later. So technical debt would be ideally zero. So B is not the right answer. Correct answer is, as I'm explaining it again and again, the purpose of MVP, minimum viable product, is to deliver the product as soon as possible or for early value delivery to customers. So correct answer is option D. Releasing a basic version reduces the time to market. So what we do, we release a product with basic functionality so that customer, they can start using it and product could be marketable, right? So D is the right answer. Let's read the explanation. Limiting features in initial version to help keep defects. I have already explained it. It has nothing to do with defects. Technical debt is irrelevant. Developing only essential feature limits work in progress. No, we don't limit work in progress through MVP. Minimizing work in progress is a Kanban concept that we do by putting limit on work in progress. Like we can only do 3 user stories at one point in time. So that is a different concept. All right. Next question. All right, Daniela, you have chosen option B.
Yeah, but I had second thoughts. By just reading again the question. So we need to show incremental value. And the question is, how should the project manager structure the delivery? So B, it's not really answering what's a delivery structure. Sorry, I'm just reading because I realize I'm just thinking. Maybe A.
Okay.
So it's basically structuring of the project. How do you structure the project? A answers that.
All right. Thank
Could
you.
be D, but I'm not sure. Yeah, anyway, A.
All
Sorry
right.
to change my mind. Yeah.
Thank you. Robin, you have chosen option C.
Yes, in option C, schedule routine demos of complete features, that would satisfy the need to show incremental value. And then the final system would be to deliver the entire system only after all features are finished. So I felt option C was the closest to the approach.
All right. But Robin, incremental value, what is meant by incremental value? Like, as I mentioned earlier, if there are 10 features, if you're delivering all the features at once, this is not incremental value delivery. This is single delivery. So there are two concepts, incremental delivery and single delivery. So if you're developing product in increments and showing to the customer, but not delivering, this is not called incremental delivery. Incremental delivery is you develop a feature and you deliver it. You start working on second set of features. Then you deliver it, then you start working on third set of features. You deliver it, it's not just showing, it's delivering. Because customer starts using it, then they give you feedback. So the problem with option C is that it says deliver the entire system only after all features are finished. This is not incremental delivery. This is single delivery. So question clearly says business sponsor emphasizes the need to show incremental value. So how you can show incremental value? By delivering incrementally. Option C is clearly in contradiction with the principle of incremental delivery. Is it clear, Robin?
Okay, what caught me there is, you could have incremental values, and then those are all part of the final value, which is the final system.
Yeah.
So that's what caught me, maybe is a better way of putting it.
Yeah, makes sense. I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. So a problem with option C is that you are developing. We don't know what you are developing. You are showing scheduled routine demos. You are showing or you're doing demonstration. However, you are delivering once. So delivering once is in contradiction of principle of incremental delivery. If it says schedule routine demos of completed features and deliver accordingly, let's suppose, then it makes sense. Means you develop and you deliver. But delivering once is in contradiction of this principle.
Right.
The first part is, yes, that makes sense. But second part of the statement of option C is wrong. All right, I'll take one more comment. Lela, you have chosen option A.
Yeah, so and here we're talking about the incremental value, right? So I crossed out by elimination D, C, and B actually also provide regular updates to executive teams. That does not solve the problem here. So I went with A because organized project into phases based on a customer's interactions, right? Incremental is on like a customer's feedback. So each phase as a final, you have one system delivery. So Yeah, that's how I went with A.
All right, thank you. So correct answer is option A. I have explained all other options are wrong because providing regular updates to the executive team and demonstrate all integrated features, it's not incremental delivery. Option C, I have already explained it. Reframing the project into program, it's completely irrelevant, right? So we group projects into program when they are related. So statement is not about that. So correct answer is organize the product into phases based on customer interaction and deliver each phase as part of the final system. So each phase is one component. So this is what we call incremental delivery. Let's read the explanation. All right, next question. All right, Jashri, you have chosen option A.
Yes, Samar. Out of the four options, I thought the first one would be more suitable answer because starting to modify the security measures to enhance user friendliness. Because a prototype is already being presented. So option D might not be relevant here. Developing user personas because it's a duplicate effort being done after the prototype is presented. And option B and C also I didn't feel they are suitable because emphasize ensuring security is vital for the product. That is already done and we have got the feedback also that it is overly complex. So option B might not be relevant here. And scheduling a meeting with the product owner to review and adjust the product backlog. Before that, the customer feedback, participants' feedback should be analyzed before scheduling. So option C might not be relevant. So start modifying the security measures to enhance user friendliness might be the appropriate answer here.
All right. Okay, one principle, development team, they do not directly start doing things. Everything should come through product backlog. Okay, whatever they want to do, that will be incorporated in the backlog as action item, and then that would be executed by the team. Okay, even if it is a defect or it's a change, any addition, deletion, modification, everything would come through the backlog. So they would not start modifying the security measures just because of the feedback. Okay, so option A is not correct.
Yeah.
All right. So anybody else? Mohan, you have chosen option D.
Right. eh, so I just thought that it was an issue with understanding what the basic requirements of the functionalities was in order to I think and that's why I thought that should be the first thing that should be addressed. Like you said, A is taking an action, so I can eliminate that. Emphasize security, emphasize ensuring security is vital for the product, is not really listening to the feedback and addressing it. And C, scheduling a meeting with product owner to review and adjust the backlog is essentially taking that action without taking into consideration the user.
All right, thank you. Okay. So option D, develop user personas to understand product functionality. So what we do when the product or the project is in the concept phase, or when we want to understand product functionalities or how the product would be used by the customers or end users, we develop persona. In the statement, it says, participants provided detailed feedback about the security measures, which were overly complex and might discourage them from using the service. So the thing that you want to do through personas, it has already been done through a detailed feedback. So the participants of the meeting, of the focus group, they have already provided you with the feedback that what's wrong with the product. So there is no need to do or develop personas again. It's a kind of duplication. So what you will be doing, you will be talking to product owner, you will review the product functionalities and then adjust it based on the feedback. And in that adjustment, maybe you would be talking to end users again if product owner believes there is a clarity that is required or if they are not sure about it. In the question, there is no such statement. Since a detailed feedback has already been provided, so there is no need to develop personas. We will be talking to product owner. We will be reviewing existing functionalities and adjusting it to incorporate the feedback. Correct answer is option C. All other options are incorrect. Starting modifying, I have already explained. Emphasize ensuring security is vital. It means ignoring the feedback that we do not do. And developing user persona is duplication. We will be going with option C. Let's read the explanation. All right, next question. All right, Priya, you have chosen option C.
Yes, I think while reading the PMI material, I think I there is one way of identifying the value or increasing the value for a project could be by identifying the risks, and by reducing the risks, you could identify ways in which you can improve the value or the outcome of a project. I just remembered that and went with that option.
All right. But Priya, what's wrong with option B? Isn't it the same thing or is it different?
Find the root cause of the lower financial benefits with the benefits owner. The root cause could be there, but how would you find a mitigation strategy? So if it's a risk, then you can come up with a mitigation strategy. So root cause is more of analysis of why something is happening. It doesn't tell you how to solve the problem. So I would say risk analysis would be a better option.
Yeah, I understand. So option B says identify a root cause, right? And
Mm-hmm.
option C says identify risks or assess risks.
Mm-hmm.
The option C doesn't talk about any sort of mitigation. It talks about assessment. So how
Right.
option B and C are different? Because there is no action in either B or C.
I think it's implied that once you have a risk, you would come up with a strategy to mitigate it. So yeah.
Isn't it implied once you have the root cause, you'll come up with the strategy to address that root cause?
True. I give up.
Okay, right. So in option B and C, actually you're doing the same thing, right? That could be right. Okay, we'll see that. But I want to highlight, like, sometime you can eliminate options which are similar. If B and C are similar, means these two can't be the right answer, but could be right. We can see that. But it looks like B and C are similar. Don't change your answers. Stick to those. Maybe you're right. Okay. Right. So Lela, you have chosen option A.
I think if you consult with the experts on the methods, how we can reduce the cost, right? That's what's the problem here is that the cost is high, that the financial criteria does not meet, but the financial value of the project. So I thought this one kind of solves the problem. If we could consult experts, if they can show us what's the method, we can reduce the cost and increase the financial value of the project in this case, because like you said, B and C for me was almost like the same thing, and then the other one would be quantify expected tangible and intangible benefits and benefit management plan. I don't think benefit management plan has to do anything here with this problem. So that's why I went with A.
All right. A could be the right answer, but Lela, benefit management plan actually, it has everything to do with benefits. It contains benefits. It contains benefits time frame, benefits matrix, benefits honor, how benefits would be measured. So benefits management is actually done through benefits management plan. So it's all about benefits. So A could be right answer, but your logic for rejecting D is not accurate. Benefits management plan has everything to do with benefits. Okay. I'll take one more comment. Who would like to explain? Vivek, you have chosen option D.
Yes. So as you said, like option A is like we are consulting with the expert how to increase the benefit, but how is not mentioned, like how we are going to do that. So D answers that. So with quantifying the expected tangible and intangible benefits, we'll be able to like get the correct root cause and to understand the problem, and that's how like I have selected or reached option B. And B and C, as we mentioned, like looks very similar to each other.
Okay, thank you. If I ask one simple question, is there any problem in this project? And if yes, what's the problem? Anyone, please. This question is to everybody. Is
They
there
haven't
a
got enough
problem with the
money.
project? And if there is a project, what is that? Robin, you want to say something?
The financial criteria. They can't meet the financial criteria. That's a problem.
Okay, it's a problem, right? Anybody else?
Yeah, I agree to Robin.
All right. And my follow-up question, what exactly we are doing in option D? What's going on there?
So we are actually judging both like tangible and intangible benefits we get if we implement this solution.
All right. So what's happening here? You have some financial criteria. Apparently, it looks like the project does not meet that criteria. However, project is providing student satisfaction. It attracts more applicants and improve retention rates. So projects are executed to deliver benefits. And benefits are not always just financial. benefits are tangible and they are intangible. So for example, if you develop a public park, right? You won't be getting any direct financial revenue from the park, but it improves users' health. It's a source of recreation, right? And it would lead to satisfaction and a healthy society. So what we do is when we calculate the financials of a project, we consider tangible as well as intangible elements. So the problem here is that you're only looking at financial elements and you're ignoring quantification of non-tangible benefits. So the first thing you need to quantify, you need to convert intangible benefits into tangible benefits. So for example, how a park could contribute to improved health, we can calculate number of patients per month or per period. And we can quantify the positive impact on health sector. We can simply calculate the positive impact through happiness, right? Less depression. So what we do, we calculate tangible and we calculate intangible. We convert them in financial value and then see if the financial criteria is met or not. So the problem with the question is that you're just looking at the tangible value, you're ignoring intangible value. So first you need to convert the intangible into tangible, and then you need to remeasure. If you still are not able to meet the financial criteria, then you would be rejecting the project, or maybe you would be looking for something else. So correct answer is option D, quantify the expected tangible and intangible benefits, and then see if you are meeting the criteria or not. Consult with expert on methods to reduce cost. There is no such statement or indication in the question that says cost is more than benefit. Find the root cause of the lower financial benefits. No, financial benefits could be less, as I have given you example. Ask the benefit owner to reassess the identified risks that are impacting the financial benefits. No, it's the nature of the project that does not give you direct financial benefits. So correct answer is option D. All other options are incorrect. Let's read the explanation. All right, I hope it is clear. So what's your score in today's mock test? 70%, 50%, 80%, 60%, 60%, 30%, 40%, 60%. All right. Don't worry, this topic is new and we didn't discuss much during the course as well. So that's why I intentionally added a lot of questions relevant to MVP, minimum viable product. If you're not comfortable with agile concepts, go back to YouTube and watch first 10 videos, first session to 10th session. All 10 sessions are relevant to agile delivery. So we discuss these concepts in detail there, right? And also you can read PMI Agile Guide, right? It's a small document, like roughly 100 pages, I guess. You can read it and you'll get better understanding about Agile. Also, you can review my notes. I have added a lot of content, a lot of visuals in the notes which are relevant to Agile, incremental delivery. Those are really interactive. If you go through those notes, it would be really helpful and they would retain in your mind when you would be taking the exam. So go through the 10 sessions, read PMI Agile Guide, and go through my notes. So these three are essential and useful resources to have better understanding about Agile concepts. And don't get discouraged, right? If you're getting 30%, 40%, this is not an evaluation. This is a learning process. Each question is a concept, right? With every question, you're learning something. So don't take it as an assessment. And all of you are at different stages of preparation, right? So that's why some are getting more, some are getting less. Thank you so much. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.